Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Hippie Dippy Show. I'm Cassidy Beau.
And I'm Bo Bowker.
And I'm Jeffrey J. And who does this for 7 with the thumb and the finger? That looks like 6.
7-year-olds.
Isn't it 7?
Yeah, I mean, it's 7 technically.
Of course it's 7, you guys. But yeah, this is how I count out 7.
How much is this many?
Like this. What's the proper hand gesture for 7?
Look, it's with the peace sign. The
What?
peace sign.
No way.
No.
Yeah.
No way. You don't hold up
Who
the
does that?
5 and then a
5,
peace sign?
5, 6, 7.
No.
You hold up the 5
6.
with...
No, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Who goes with thumb next?
Everyone. Everyone. The thumb is the first thing you count.
Wait,
What?
even if you're saying ones. So what's number 1? Show me number 1.
No, now,
Well, that's-
one is definitely
Yeah.
this. One is definitely this is very good for the people listening.
Yeah.
On iTunes and such. But we're talking about when you count.
Yeah.
When you count on your fingers, how do you start? Okay, you probably start with your index finger, right?
1.
Yeah. Where is pointer? Right here.
There we go. And then you carry on, and then the thumb is probably the last. But then when you start the next hand,
Thumb.
the sixth number is always the thumb. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10.
6 with your other index finger like an animal.
All right, preschool teachers of the world, write in and let us know who's wrong here.
Here's the thing. It's not something you teach. It's human interactions, and you just revealed yourself as a freaking, alien walking among us.
Teacher of children. I'm a teacher of the children, and they all
my
know.
children.
No, this is
No.
our children loves JJ time.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Children
Yeah,
love JJ.
Jeffrey J has a children's YouTube show called It's JJ Time. I highly recommend it. He's so good. I watched another ep the other day. Binging It's JJ Time.
He was supposed to leave for work that day. He was like getting upset with me. I need to be able to do this. I need to do what I need to do so I can get out of here, okay? And then I turn on JJ Time. The beach one with the towel, and all of a sudden here's Bo standing there in front of the TV.
With a bucket on my head.
Towels with the kids.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh.
I was doing it all. And we don't have like a bunch of like beach buckets, so we've got like my son had like a silver bowl.
Yeah.
He looked like a World War I veteran.
That's awesome.
Older, I guess.
That's great. I'm so excited. Jack's gonna flip because this week we're coming out with the episode on cars. Oh, maybe I'll do a shout out to your son.
Okay. Settle down over there.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna indoctrinate him into my show. He's gonna host he's gonna be the creator of my fan club.
Yeah, and he'll do the like after JJ time.
Oh yeah.
You know how in like
JJ
A&E or
time,
Bravo
yeah.
or whatever, every show has an after show.
Oh yeah. JJ time out.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, JJ had a bucket on his head. That was written to be actually a bowl. And JJ, he was like, he just felt inspired and he improv'd, what if I used a bucket? So, fun fact. Yeah. Anyways, how are you guys doing?
So great, dudes. Oh my God.
You look great. You came on and I said, listen, you've got some serious Matthew McConaughey vibes going on. You look cool. You look like you've got it all figured out and you believe in yourself.
That's the thing. I freaking do. No, look, when Jeff told me that as we logged on, and I was like, dude, as I was walking to sit down here, I felt my own Matthew McConaughey vibe, and she can't stand it.
Not true.
You're put off by it because,
No.
you can't stand the fact that I might be a little bit like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, she can't stand the fact that you might like high school chicks. Like,
Yeah, man.
What? Listen, I can't stand the fact that I'm gonna walk into this house someday and he's gonna be butt naked playing butt bongos with his friends.
butt bongos.
What does he do?
It was
like
Woody Harrelson.
Super high, playing butt bongos.
Look, when you're talking about Matthew McConaughey, you don't have to say super high. It's just assumed that he's...
Yeah. Or say butt bongos. You can just say bongos and assume they're butts.
Look, Howard Stern used to play butt bongos, but Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson they had naked bongo parties. Those guys are cool, man. That's some hippie dippy shit. They're the hippie dippies of Hollywood, and they give me confidence that I can still be a hippie dippy weirdo while still pursuing.
Yeah, you know what he said? I listen to a lot of, like, every morning I listen to these motivational things. It's like, hey, morning motivation. It's all about creating a reality, and it pumps me up. It's like, oh, it's the best. It's like, you can do this. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to smile, and it's wonderful. And there's a whole bunch of different people who speak in it. One of them that I stumbled across recently has Matthew McConaughey in it.
I was just going to say, he would be perfect for that.
Yeah, and you know what his thing was? This was yesterday that I stumbled across this one, because I try to change it up and try and find different ones. He said his hero, when people ask him who his hero is, it kind of sounds a little dickish.
I know what this is. This is hilarious. Go.
It's him in 5 years, no matter what time it is. And, like, that's when he wants to be like the person he's working towards. And I'm like, that sounds like the most asshole thing to say, but I love it.
He gave that as a speech. It's what's so funny is that he did that as an award acceptance speech. Wow. An award acceptance speech, probably for like Dallas Buyers Club like years ago. And he went up there and he did that whole spiel. I love him, dude.
I thought that was brilliant. Yeah.
It was. It's great. He's got some beautiful things to say, man.
Yeah, it's wonderful too. And I started thinking about things in like, okay, well, this is great, because then I can figure out, well, what do I want to be doing in 5 years that's gonna make me proud? And it's a fantastic way to look at things. It does sound like something that might, if it came out of the wrong mouth, that would annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be in 5 years?
I want to be Matthew McConaughey in 5 years.
That's damn right. That's exactly what you want to be. Now, Cassidy, let me ask you a question right now.
Let me take a Carl's Jr. burger and shove it in your face. Did he do that? Did he do Carl's Jr. commercials?
I've done a lot of things. Yeah, I've done Carl's Jr. commercials, Chrysler commercials. I just drive a Chrysler right into the middle of the desert and I just stare Bull right in the eyes.
Let's go back to the German accent. I like that one time when we went to Disneyland, we were in the line for the Matterhorn, you did the German accent.
Yeah,
that was my thing.
She got all horned up. I was doing we were waiting in line for the Matterhorn at Disneyland. And I can't even do it after doing that. I think but
is this pre-kids?
I was doing this German accent, and I said, Cassidy, have you ever been on the Matterhorn? Come on, let's go. Let's get on the Matterhorn. I will ride in front. You will be in back of me. You will hold on tightly to my nipples.
A little different. Anyways, I liked it.
She got super horny.
I tried to bring it in.
Oh my God.
She liked the German. And then after she got pregnant, like
not because of that.
It was instant. You didn't even have sex. That was just like, my body's ready.
You are pregnant now. I put myself inside yourself. 2 versions of me will come out. 1 boy, 1 girl.
Both blonde.
Both blonde. Perfect. Hitler's dream.
Oh my god.
This is not the accent that I liked.
It was. Hello.
Oh my god. So
Out south to
this
me.
this brings me to, so like you had the Matthew McConaughey vibes, and then separately Cassidy looks amazing, and then together the package of the two of you, so white. It is
How dare you? That is the worst thing you could say about someone in 2020, Jeff. I'm kidding, Miles.
Oh my
I am.
god.
You want
You just look like a millennial couple right now. You look like you both decided collectively to live in a van and live off the world and not own property.
Fun. I like that idea.
because Cassidy's ironically, like in today's day and age, when you wear something that looks sort of like Native American, which Cassidy's wearing, like it's a little Native American.
Yes.
The more you wear Native American articles, the whiter you are. Like if you are wearing Native American things today, like cultural items or like things that resemble that culture, you're probably going to Coachella.
Yeah.
or leading like a breathwork circle.
Yeah, Cassidy looks like she has some like Native American heritage, but she's going to go speak to Congress.
What?
Like that's what you're channeling. It's like this professional, but you're still representing your community and your culture.
Yeah.
Actually, our next door neighbor requested this look for his bachelor party tonight. Okay.
What? Oh my god.
What would that even? So
I believed you so hard.
you're trying to set up a scenario. Here's the thing: she'll set up scenarios that like don't make sense. Like so in this fake scenario that you're trying to play off as real, our neighbor hired you to strip for him.
Well, usually he'd get a referral, but he doesn't like to outsource his strippers. He wants to make sure he knows them personally. The complete opposite of what a stripper is supposed to be is this anonymous person you can objectify. He's like, no, I like to have a relationship and a rapport with my strippers.
Yeah. Oh my God. How does that work? What? God, 4 strippers.
You're the one who's always trying. You
in
guys,
COVID-19
both of you guys.
times.
First of all, they're called. Are they called sex workers?
No, they're strippers. They don't deal in sex.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, they're called body move workers.
I don't know what the term is.
The point is, you both look great. I'm just saying, like when you smash the two of you together, you tell a story that's created when you.
That we gave up ownership of land.
Yeah, I mean you're very enlightened, but your dads are not impressed.
My dad's not impressed.
My dad's never impressed.
He really wants me to go back to nursing full time, like yesterday.
What are you doing raising those kids? What are they gonna grow up to be? Unless they're gonna be nurses, I'm not impressed.
That's funny.
He was real proud when I went to nursing school. And then I didn't ever go back to the hospital after I had the babies. That's not true. I do teach, classes occasionally there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Dad.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring up. Well, wait a minute. First, I want to get to. I'm sorry. First things first. Jeff asked us how we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really great and feeling a lot of gratitude.
Hold on a second. Just so you guys know, everyone who's watching the video podcast, some stuff popped up
Oh god,
all
Jeff's porn.
all of my
Jeff's
alerts. Oh
porn's
no,
on.
it is stuff for ABC Mouse and Pottery Barn. So, just so everyone knows, I got alerts for emails from those two places and they popped up over my face. So, they will be in the podcast.
We're not sponsored by ABC Mouse. I don't even know what that
It's a
means.
children's online program that
What a life you live every day.
Jeez, Jeff.
that and Pottery Barn.
Uh,
Hmm.
go on. So you're feeling gratitude.
I'm feeling gratitude. I'm feeling a lot of emotion this week. Yeah.
Mm.
Big things are happening. And it's like when you're ready, when you're actually like actively or even subconsciously calling in a leveling up, then you quite literally receive calls back. And today, I mean,
Can you?
not today. Do I need to explain?
Yeah. Can you explain what leveling up would mean?
Oh, yeah.
So leveling up would mean something like you're ready for another lesson. You're ready for a shift. You have completed your lesson and understanding of whatever you're experiencing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. I think you're.
Does that make sense?
It's like
Yeah.
leveling up in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done this. Now you're moving on, and maybe you have some of the secret items from the last level,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Gotta
you're ready to move on, and you're going to need those items for your next level when you face that level boss.
Yeah, you need the experience of having known like, hey, I needed to know this in order to fight this boss. Or I
Mm-hmm.
needed to buy a new weapon, so I got a little extra coins in my pocket.
Yeah. I know how to dodge swirling fireballs.
Yeah.
I freaking beat those, dude. How do you think I crossed the majestic moat? Dongus?
And I really want to keep going with this. I just have to say, Beau, you can always tell when you reference video games that you haven't played them since you were a child.
It's been a while.
You're always like, yeah, I'm a plumber running through stuff.
Totally, yeah. All video games are still about plumbing, right? Fireballs and tubing, right?
Yeah. Oh, I needed to learn how to jump over that barrel.
Right. Call of Duty is just a plumber that's living out his best life, right?
He's John Wicking.
Right. And duty is spelled Doodie.
Call of Duty. It's just a dude trying to get to the bathroom, but he gets to shoot people along the way.
It's a plumber that fights Nazis.
All right, so we've leveled up now.
Yeah.
And
leveled up, and so I was, I had my couple hours of power, my power hours in the morning where I'm doing some work before I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom during this quarantine. And I received a phone call the other day as I started my work sesh, and it was from Jeffrey J. And Jeffrey J had all of these ideas, and it wasn't like, hey, good morning, how are you doing? What you up to today? Small talk. No, he called me. Hey, Cass, what are you doing? Are you busy with the kids? Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. So do you have a website yet? Do you have a this? Do you have a blah, blah, blah? Because I'm working on it right now, and I'm thinking we could work on it together. And so I was just all right, let's do it. And so we jumped on a Zoom call, and we've been having our hour of power. And I think we've had 2 or 3.
yeah, we've had 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. The first day was just a phone call, and yeah, you came up with Power Hour. I just called you because I thought about something for you and your business, and then I was like,
locked in for a whole stupid hour.
Oh boy.
And then this thing was created, I guess, which was completely unintentional, where we just, because I was thinking, like, I got all these crazy, weird ideas that you can take or not take about your business. It's like, and because I'm working on it too, and I thought, what if we just worked on our different things at the same time? Because what's really great about this is that I come up with ideas for you and you come up with ideas for me that have no bearing on each other. That it's a complete freedom. All the things that I'm stuck in this pigeonhole of ideas or this and this. Cassidy will throw something out there and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Or I'll talk about something silly like a website thing and she'll go, oh, that's perfect for her, but it's not perfect for me. And
Yeah.
it's a really cool. I mean, I would have a power hour with anybody in any career or working on any project because it's just such a weird creative thing to do. Is that
It's so cool, like that you guys are doing that, and I really appreciate being left out completely. Um,
I've almost sent you a text twice. At both times, I almost sent you a text because I was like, I want this time with Bo too.
I appreciate that.
And it is weird. I will tell you, it is weird being such close friends with both of you
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you're both genuinely like my best friends. And
Hmm.
so I will get off and be like, I feel guilty.
Don't
But
no, honestly,
No, it's not one of
I
those.
I
It's not
said
one
that
of
purely
those.
as a joke. I know you know that, but I really my real sentiment is that I think that's so cool that you guys do that. Like it's it's very unique. I haven't really heard of this sort of thing where it's like you're perfect. It's like you're yeah, you guys are able to really be there for each other because you're both creative. You're both in this spot of creation. Like you're not just creative people, you're creating right now, both separate things. There's no competition in what you guys are doing. There's no real investment in what the other's doing. It's not like, oh, we're working on this screenplay together, you
yeah.
know? Um, and so egos get involved or like
Right.
different ideas get involved. And it's like, hey, I've got an idea for you. If you don't use it, I don't care at all. Like, like, but if you can take something from this, then wonderful. I'm so happy that it could help you. But I have no relationship with whether or not you do. You
Yeah.
know, that's really powerful.
Yeah, it's really cool too, cause I was like too. I almost texted you the other day, and I was like, "Do you have anything to work on?" Because I'm like, I could do this for 8 hours a day with different people for sure.
It's so
Right.
nice.
It is so cool. And with Cassidy right now, we're both doing websites, which is really cool because they're so different. Hers is beautiful and elegant, and mine's like, "Can I add more crayons?" Mine's like, "How can I make it messier but still this and that?" And even that alone is like, "Hey, this looks really ridiculous and dumb on your thing, but it looks perfect on mine."
That's really
Um,
cool.
but yeah, it's a cool. And I just cut. You started calling it power hour, which I love. Mine was like co-working,
Right. Yeah, that's cool too. Well, yeah,
but
and I had this thought the other day about you, Jeffrey, and it applies to Cassidy as well, and what you guys are talking about. But it's like advice for anybody listening, and for myself too. Find those people, like
Mm,
find people like Jeff and Cassidy,
mm,
where like these people that are high vibrating on this high frequency. They're being creative, they're doing stuff, they're not sure stuff comes up like there's self-consciousness at times,
yeah.
and there's ego comes in at times for ourselves, saying like, ooh, are you really good enough to do this? Can you really put yourself out there like this? How's this going to be received? All that sort of stuff. But gravitate towards these people in your life. That, like, we've all come across these people at different times, and because everybody ebbs and flows, there's times where I'm like on this super high creative frequency, and then others when I'm not, and so um, yeah, it's that idea of just be around those people and create more boundaries with those people that aren't vibrating on a higher frequency. Not to like kick them out of your life completely or be like, hey, you're not creating shit. Like,
yeah,
get out of here. But more so like just be a little bit more precious with your energy field and who you're bringing into it, because energy is an exchange. It's very difficult to remain completely sort of sovereign from the energy you choose to be around, and yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And also, too, I would say, too, a huge problem people have is sometimes thinking, like, I don't have a thing I'm creating. But
Mm.
creativity, just about everything is creative. And especially, like how you organize your life is a creative endeavor. It's like, how am I organizing how my house is even set up? How am I organizing how I take care of my stuff around my house? How am I organizing my time? Things like that can be very awesomely creative. So even if you don't have a project or something you're creating, I think you can definitely still do Power Hour with people and compare how you do things in your life. Um,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so and I feel like too, if you were to just open yourself up and say like, hey, let's see what we get out of this. Let's do, especially if you have a mundane task that you have to
Mhm.
do, like organize something in your on your computer. Do it with somebody else, and then you start finding out something interesting and apply it to your life, and vice versa. And you're opening yourself up to the things that we don't share with other people, like building a website. What silly things that I know or I've learned, I can just go like, hey, this is kind of neat. And then Cassie, you'll find something. I'm like, what? I had no
Yeah.
idea about that.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff you keep to yourself, not selfishly, but because there's no reason to share it.
Right. Yeah.
Totally. I think that we often too, especially, hear me out, after you get married, you end up in your like little daily cycle,
Mm-hmm.
your routine, right? And then sometimes this is not necessarily us, guys, come on. So sometimes, you do hear of that, and even it's not even just in marriage, it's in new relationships. There's these two people are just busy kind of, cycling around each other, that they lose contact with their friends.
Yeah.
So, and then now add on kids.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
I'm not
I'm
hearing.
sorry. We are hearing. We are just also noticing that Bo smacked himself in the tooth with his. Is that
Oh,
what happened?
Yeah, I
Are
hurt
you
myself
okay?
really bad.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I had this giant stupid.
Goodness gracious.
I was about to make a comment about how ridiculously oversized it is,
I know.
and then you smacked yourself in the face with it, and I thought the thermos did it for me.
It said, "This is too big for your entire life."
Yeah, but go on because
Um,
I really loved your point where you were
yes.
getting
Okay.
to. We
So then, add on kids into the mix. And so we get into our routine, and then we kind of lose contact with our friends. And there are, little things I think people are doing differently that they're inspired by during this, COVID time, quarantine time, whatever. Like there's that Marco Polo app. In the Marco Polo app, you can send videos. I don't think that there's like a certain time for, what am I trying to say? A
Like
limit.
an
I don't think
expiration
there's
date?
a,
Oh,
yeah, I
oh,
don't
oh.
think that the videos expire, and I don't think there's a limit on your time. So you can go on and on and on and ramble. But you can have a conversation with your friend rather than sending a text message. You send them a video clip, or you can have your kids be in touch with their friends too through these video clips. It's quite
That's
nice.
cool.
But so what I'm kind of getting at is that we don't have to wait for the perfect time. Like I tend to not call my friends because I don't want to bother them, because I know that they're also moms, because I know that they're working. I don't want to bother them, so I send them a little text message, or sometimes I don't even send that text message because I don't have enough time to say all the things that I want to say, and sometimes I don't even respond to a text message that I receive because there's so much that I want to offer back, emotionally and lovingly, but I just don't have the time and space to do that. So that being said, let's do power hours, like not just, while you're working creatively. What about while you're cooking dinner?
Mm.
Hey friend, are you cooking dinner? I'm cooking dinner. Turn on your freaking video and let's just see each other. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be quiet. Your life can be and my life can be, and like let's exist just as we are. We don't need to change anything.
Yeah, I love it so much. We have Chase DuRousseau as well.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Chase DuRousseau used to do this thing, and I am like lifelong friends with him now forever because of this thing that he used to do. He did he refused to Google things. So
Oh,
he would text people instead and say, "Hey, what was the name of that girl that was in so and so? You know, it was on NBC, blah 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 blah." And I don't know where he came up with this idea or if he heard it, but it freaking worked as this amazing way to be like, "Oh, we have no reason to talk and we are talking again."
Well,
yeah.
that's cool. I
It
like
was
that.
the neatest thing ever. You would just send it to somebody. Hey, what do you think about brownies if I put maybe like a bay leaf in it? And I would just get it and I'd be like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you making this? All of a sudden, we're talking about the silliest thing ever. And
Yeah.
it was so appreciated. And if you're too busy, you don't answer it back then. But then you still have them on your radar again.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, that Chase DuRousseau is he's a comedian and he's so talented, so funny. He's the only black guy in the world named Chase.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant. And he's actually currently making a lot of very funny videos with this quarantine time. Very creative, very crazy videos that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's because he moved to New York like 2 weeks before the quarantine hit.
Oh
Oh
boy.
man.
Yeah, can you imagine? And what he's doing though, instead of just laying down and being like, "Look what I did at this
Right.
time that I did it," he's putting out these videos that are so off the wall that they're hilarious.
Yeah, they're really great. But and I love Chase. And he's just a cool, good guy too. And he I love that about the not googling because guess what? I'll tell you what, googling and all those sorts of things, they're making us dumber.
Yeah.
Like not only is that such a smart way to keep in touch with people because I do the same thing that Cassidy does. I am a perfectionist. I may have talked about it on the show before, but I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my relationships, and therefore they just disappear because
Mm.
I don't keep in contact with people because I'm waiting for the perfect time to have all the time I need to dedicate to this person I love so much, and then so I never talk to them, and me sitting there, but oh, I'm sending them good hippie vibes. Bullshit. They don't know that. Like they might feel it vibrationally in some way. Sure, I'm into that stuff. But guess what? If you're not reaching out, if you're ignoring texts, they don't feel that great, about your relationship, and you're not showing them your love. So yes, that's something that I do too, and it really bothers me about myself. And so that's a great thing to do to keep it in contact with people, and also it like just all the googling, all the spell check is just making us dumber.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
not helping.
It used to be. I will say this. My mother told me a story about how she had two family members who did not talk to each other for months once because they argued about something that nowadays with Google would have taken
Hmm.
2 seconds. And each of them were so sure about it, but it was just something you couldn't look up. It was how much salary an actor made for a certain TV show.
And they got so mad at each
So
other.
it blew up so big. And now my mom, I'm sure, the minute this comes out, she's going to correct me, tell me the whole story
Right,
about
right.
what it was. But they didn't talk to each other forever. And she's like, Google has saved so many relationships. It's also ruined them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now people can Google what you did when you were in college.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I don't like that. I don't like that. You know,
What?
I don't like that that people have access to that. I do. I feel bad sometimes. Like, listen, the past is the past. So like here's one of those questions, you know? The moral question,
What is the question?
what is the better thing? Is it to be able to have access to records on records and
Mm.
all of these, you know, things from your past, like that you've done, that
Mhm.
you did, like, or is it better to be present and like, because people don't let that stuff go nowadays, and
No.
people can change, and people do
Yeah.
Absolutely.
change.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's a
don't
great
know, you
point.
guys.
Yeah. And that's such a great point too, because also like as when you're a young budding comedian too, sometimes you say things that you don't realize are
Oh,
offensive and do things and
yeah.
etc. until later on, and you're like, that was really insensitive, but I was just trying so hard to get stuff out there. Or I thought it was funny in the moment, and or whatever.
Right.
So,
Totally. And well, and they do that too with like all these any kid that gets drafted now, and guess what? They're kids. Like like you get drafted into the NFL, and so many people are going to look at your Twitter and see what dumb crap did this 21-year-old, because guess what? You're still a kid at 21.
yeah,
All right. It's not like I've got a whole
yeah.
thing about how we should change age limits and things like that.
Oh,
I'll talk about later, another time. But they're looking up what did this 21-year-old kid tweet when they were 15
or 12.
or 12,
Yeah,
man.
people
And
are
it's
tweeting so young.
well, and it's a reason why these kids shouldn't. And I know I sound like old man Bowker, but like it's why they shouldn't have Twitter. You have no business saying things.
No.
Dude, when I was just telling you the story the other day, when I was a senior in high school, or like I was like, yeah, probably 17, 16 or 17, like probably a junior, I wrote something called the Midget Manifesto. And it was this thing about like it was just funny to me at the time as a stupid 16-year-old thing about like my hatred of midgets.
Yeah,
And
It's
and
not true, right?
no,
Like,
it's not a real
I was
thing.
shocked. So what are you talking about?
yeah,
Did you really hate? I don't hate anything. No, but
no,
like, but when you're a kid, you think funny thought, and I was, thought I was funny and trying to make my friends laugh, and
yeah.
like, I wrote this thing about midgets,
It's
and like,
the
it was,
same. Yeah, is you're the same age as the people on Jackass who are firing things at their own testicles.
right,
I mean, whether the
exactly,
people who think like this will be fun now, not having children, I'll deal with it later.
right, yeah, exactly, and it's like this stuff coming back to haunt you, and it's like, and people just read it and they're like, that kid who's this like suburban white kid or whatever that wrote the N-word on Twitter when he was 15, like because he listens to a bunch of rap and calls his friends the N-word, which is not cool,
Yeah,
but he's also 12 and doesn't know what he's doing. Like he doesn't get it. And now he's 21. And but people read it and they're like, he messed up. Gotta make him pay for it. And it's like,
yeah,
do
yeah.
you? Like, I don't know. I really don't think so. Like, I mean,
Uh,
look, the guy's like still 21 and like using the N-word. Yeah, obviously we got a problem. But like, but
yeah,
yeah,
you wonder where the line is to from child to adult, and like where do
yeah,
you know, I don't know. It's such a hard one too,
yeah.
because
I mean,
that word was always like just the worst word ever. With our family, and we would never dream of saying it.
right.
I didn't. I mean, no, I didn't know it for years. And then you get into a certain age group and in Texas, and
Ugh.
you hear it so much.
Yeah.
And but I was lucky to
We're
be
talking about
raised.
midget, right?
Yeah, yeah, with an N. Um, yeah. That no, I was so lucky to be raised by parents and by a family who instilled how horrible it was and the history and everything. Everyone else around me, raised in Texas, they weren't raised with that. And
Right.
so they're going around, I mean, just using it left and right, and some very hatefully intentionally, some just using it. And to me it was all hateful. That like it doesn't matter how you say it. It's
Yeah.
not right.
Right.
But I mean, it was everywhere. It was
Yeah.
everywhere. And I'm just the lucky person who was raised where knowing how bad it was. What if
Right.
you're not? What if you're not, and then you make those mistakes because you haven't been exposed to it yet? And that's really, really scary because you want to say everyone's got the same ability to learn those things, but they don't either. So now you're
Right. Well, yeah, and that kind of also is part of a conversation I was thinking about the other day, a conversation I was having with myself in my own brain, like about judging people from different eras when things were not as they are now. Like we're not as
politically correct.
Yeah, like we're more. I don't know. Like there were things that were like maybe that are illegal now that weren't illegal then, and okay, if you did those things, where's the moral line? How should we judge people from 400 years ago?
Yeah, that's such a hard one too, because then there's also the people who were like, well, I go along with it, even though they might have known it was wrong, and
right.
That to me is so much harder, and I think I'm just like trying to stay away from it. Like,
I just had an idea.
Every time you do this, I wait so hard, and every time you have that reaction before you say something, something's going in a butt.
No, that's not true.
That's what I always think to myself in the bedroom. We'll be making love, and she'll be like, I have an idea. And I'm like, oh, God, we're out of ice cubes. Okay, please.
I have to tell you really quick, too. My mother thought that was the funniest thing. She was like, Cassidy is the funniest person. She loves Cassidy so much. Everyone thinks Cassidy's amazing. And it's it's so great too because you go to a level of silly that I think me and Beau we're so in our heads about because we're comedians that it's why I love my partner Emma because she's not a comedian and she says things that genuinely make me laugh.
That's cool. Yeah, I have the same experience with Cass. Yeah,
and it's like the freedom of not being a jaded comedian.
Yeah,
it's got to be wonderful.
What is your
So you just totally intuitively read my mind, Jeffrey Jake, because I was thinking about your mom.
I was gonna say that I knew it was butt stuff.
No,
it's both.
No butt stuff at all. This is about your mom.
Yeah.
Again, I repeat. And your mom is a judge. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can keep her identity private. However, my thought is that how interesting would it be, because there is also this topic, this theme that we practice in yoga and mindfulness in general of non-judgment. Who am I to judge another person
so she should. I'm sorry. I'm just that you're saying so she needs to stop doing her job.
No, I want to know, because we're talking about, moral dilemmas. We're talking about where do you draw the line? When do we judge? When do we release the judgment? I want to talk to a judge. I want to talk to someone who's in that ethical world, and I want to talk to that judge about non-judgment.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, shots fired. You don't want that to happen in the courthouse.
I do that sometimes. And Beau's like, what is wrong with you?
This is Emma does too whenever I go in. I love it too because you don't punch right. You punch like I punch.
Oh, excuse me. I am an orange belt in karate, y'all.
How long does that orange belt last? Because it should be like an old person with a driving test where it's like, it's been 9 years since you kicked a bag. I think you should be retested for your orange belt.
You should see my roundhouse kick.
True. If you're 90 years old,
it'll slap your grandma.
I'll tell you this. If you're 90 years old, but you were a black belt when you were in your 20s, you're not still a black belt anymore.
You're a gray belt.
Yeah, I don't even think so. You go all the way down to an orange belt.
When did you get your orange belt? And also, that's like the second or third belt.
Yeah.
You get a white belt just because you need a belt, first of all. Just for showing up, you have a belt, so that's white. And then you get a yellow belt.
No, wrong.
I am right. I know that a yellow belt, because I went to one day of karate class, and I was like, man, I'd friggin' murder one of these people to get a yellow belt. That's my dream. That kid's a yellow belt.
Okay, pause.
But I don't know how to murder anyone because I'm only a white
belt. Okay,
wow.
This is what we're going to do. What friend are you going to choose to text? Which belt comes first?
Ooh.
Or orange?
I'm sorry to ruin the reach out for everyone, but you don't have to. It's yellow.
Unless my third grade karate teacher was incorrect, because I had a white belt and then I had an orange belt and then I quit.
You
said, I'm becoming too powerful. I don't want to have to register my tiny, tiny fists
as a weapon
in the state of California.
Oh, that's so funny. I also like the idea of like you going, hey, who are you going to reach out to? No one. I'm right.
It's true. I know some things.
All right.
One of them.
I'm going to not Google it, but the problem is that I know a family of black belts.
Wow.
The mom, dad, both sons. Most of my cousins, the Andrianopolises, very Greek.
Bunch of Greek
yeah.
karate slinging kicking Greeks.
Yeah. All four of them black belts in Taekwondo.
Wow.
So, but maybe Taekwondo has different colors in a row than karate.
I don't know.
That's such a pain in the ass because, like, if I was in that family, I have zero interest in becoming a black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And so, but everyone else in your family is a black belt in Taekwondo. You can't not do Taekwondo. You will just crap kicked out of you every day.
Except that they do that thing in, like with karate and Taekwondo where we're like, we know how to do it, we just don't do it, which is the biggest cop out.
No, that's the best.
We learned how to fight so that we could not. Oh, I would show you how. How do you know that they're great at it? How do you know? Yeah. I could just go around and be like, hey, I'm amazing at this. But the whole point of being amazing is never showing you I can do it.
Right. That's what my thing is going to be. I don't have to do Taekwondo because I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's like an MLM.
I choose not to use my fighting skills because I have none.
But if you purchase up to this many levels, you too can know nothing.
Okay, do that again. Watch again. Do it again.
No, you're going to do something dumb.
Do it again.
Wow. If I've ever seen an orange belt.
That was legitimately pretty good.
Now, I know what the thumbnail of this podcast is going to be.
I freaking hope so.
Just all of y'all going,
dead.
Oh, man. I dare say we came in with almost nothing to the podcast, and I think we've come out with some really freaking cool ideas. Don't Google things. And instead text your friends and ask them, oh no!
What? Oh no! What's wrong with your thumb?
I'm listing this as number 1! No!
Jeff's tiny thumb. But to be fair,
there was something wrong with it.
Jeff has, if you guys are just listening, Jeff has the tiniest thumbs. So like it's really sad because he can only count to 9 because he goes, okay, half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5, 8.5. Another half is 9. Total of 9. He can only count to 9 because he has 2.
Oh, halving.
Okay, half. His little tiny thumbs. You guys gotta watch. Oh, look at that thing. It's wide.
You know what
like
you call it? They're called toe thumbs because they look like a big toe.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
dude. Oh my god, that thing looks like a toe. It's a
It looks
big
like a big toe. That's a big toe right there. If
You
it had
know.
4 little tiny toes with it.
Whoa, your fingers aren't doing anything for you either.
Yeah. I have the tiniest hands.
That's my friend. That's my best friend.
This whole thing has sounded like a bunch of middle schoolers in the best way. Oh, just making fun of each other, getting things wrong, calling each other best friends. Oh my god. Oh, my point was I started counting 1 and I held up my thumb instead of the number 1.
Yep.
Yes.
Every time we do this, it comes full circle. Every time we do an episode, it comes full circle to the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
So the things that we've come up with this episode too, which has been really cool, is like have power hours with your friends and just get on and do something together and share that experience, do completely different things. Don't make a project together. Yes, do that fine. But this is about not having to have a project with somebody.
Not having, not having to like have to talk.
Yes.
Like seriously, you could just Zoom with people, like Cassidy said, while you're making dinner, and it's like cash. It's just cash. It's like being roommates almost.
Yeah, but make sure it's someone who's not selfish. That's the most important thing. If you've got a selfish friend in your life, don't do it because they make it all about them. You want somebody who genuinely wants to know about you and your stuff that's going on. That's what makes it so wonderful with Cassidy too, is that like I think both of us are like while doing our stuff, then we'll go, "Ooh, what about this for you?" And then we go right back to our stuff. And that's part of it. So we have 2 ways to connect with people.
Yeah. Don't Google. Ask somebody a random question. That's great. I
And
love
if they
that.
don't got the answer, you give them.
Okay, stop. Jeez. How long are you gonna do that?
This is what I love too. This is what Emma does too. She'll do something silly, and I'll go, "I love you because you're so silly," and then she'll do it 3 more times, and I'm like, "I no longer love your silliness. I am done with your silliness. Go back to being depressed."
Funny.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we're not. I don't know.
Do it.
What?
My question is that did you all ever write notes? Were you writing notes in school to your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, Jeff was a girl
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah, so every line, I found some recently. Every line is written in a different color gel pen.
God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, now I guess we all do have that much time on our hands, but
My bullet journal looks pretty similar.
dude, I started the bullet journal, man.
He's got the other day Jack when Bo left for work, Jack says, Daddy took our markers.
You know what?
I had to console our son
Get his own markers.
This guy took the markers for his bullet journal.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I love my bullet journal.
Yes.
Is that the first episode we talked about that in, or the second? I think it was the second episode.
Yeah.
You guys should give that a listen. I never thought that I would do one, and I did one, and it's huge for me.
I love it.
It kind of goes back to something you were talking about at the beginning. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was kind of it was on that power hour thingy, and like it brought me to this idea of your self-care can be creative, you know, and that's my, like, I'm getting a lot of creativity in this bullet journal, and it's really fun, and I use a lot of colors, and I like it.
Yeah. I will tell you one thing I put in mine is I try to reach out or call somebody every day. And that's a little bullet thing. So, and then, because sometimes you think, like, who is it going to be today? And I'll be like, oh, okay, so I just called my cousin that I hadn't called in years. And it was about something I did and we'll talk about this later at another time, but I did a stand-up show, an hour-long stand-up show on Zoom. And we laughed about it for, I mean, we were just in tears. And this is somebody I haven't just taken the time to call. And I just called him randomly because it's a little thing on my bullet journal.
Yeah,
And
that's so special. Those conversations are so special. Like when
yeah,
you talk to somebody and you're like, oh, I don't talk to you, but I love you so much.
yeah. And then a lot of times it's the same person or whatever. But if
Mm.
you put it, even if it's once a week, and you just have one tick that you're supposed to call somebody, doesn't matter who it is, it's so nice. Just make yourself call people.
Yeah, totally.
Do it. That's so cool that you're doing the bullet journal.
Yeah, man. Thank you for inspiring that. And
I
wait,
Thanks, Jack.
what was your question?
Oh, I just kind of wanted to know if anybody wrote notes when they were a kid.
Oh yeah, I wrote to chicks. Am I allowed to say
Whoa.
chicks?
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I would write to girl. Like, I mean, I lived for receiving notes from a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do guys really like
Loved
that?
getting notes. I was weird. I told you. I'm going through a whole thing right now where I'm discovering that my version of power and my sort of seeking power in my life has been through love. I've never sought power through like corporate success or like, job success or money.
Yeah.
I've sought it through love, and like, but love with a lowercase L, meaning it's not true love.
Yeah,
It was
meaning you're not a loser about it.
right. No, no, not what I meant. It means not. It's so funny. No, it means seeking adoration and approval and affection from other people, and praise from other people and relationships. And I want this person to love me. I want this person to be my girlfriend, because that will make me feel better. It wasn't conscious. It was all on this deep subconscious level on how I was taught about love. What are you laughing at, Cassie?
I'm not. I'm looking at Jeffrey J's face, because
That's
Jeffrey J's like
so messed up.
What is it? What's here?
No. Well, first of all, you built up to it so much that I was like, where is this going? It felt a lot scarier than it ended up. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I didn't know what was coming out of there. I was like, he's gay.
He's gay. I knew it.
You know how I knew? Took your kids' markers.
No, I know you're gay.
Yeah, all over your business journals, it's just rainbows. You are beautiful, just born this way. 2 tickets to Lady Gaga.
Dare you?
No, I'm looking at Jeffrey J, analyzing his face, but I'm also listening. And we had this conversation earlier, and I think this could be a really cool topic of discussion. It's kind of like the spirituality of relationship, and like going back and kind of processing and noticing your pattern. Like, we tend to call in that same lesson until we figure out that lesson, and then we move on, and there's a change, right? So I definitely had a relationship pattern. Absolutely. My friends tried to point it out to me, and I dismissed it, and I denied it, and I didn't even see it within myself, and I avoided it. And then here we are all these years later, and I love that, when we hit up the sensory deprivation float tanks, y'all. I like to lay in there in pitch black darkness with my earphones in. I can't hear anything, and I just kind of like cycle through relationship and try to understand, okay, what was the lesson there? And there's so many things you can sift through, and yeah, that's so important to go back and process. These things didn't happen for no reason.
Yeah.
You didn't meet these people for no reason. They weren't just fillers in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't random. It was something emotional and sometimes karmic. Probably
Mm-hmm.
always karmic the way I look at it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's really too. I think sometimes it's just that you needed to learn that lesson.
Yep.
I think a lot of things happen just because in order to get to where you were going, you needed to learn a lesson, and it's like, ah, we'll get this out of the way in this shitty way.
Yep. I
And
think that's everything.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
totally. Which makes it sometimes hard with Emma, because she'll something will be going on in her life, and she is much younger than I am,
Mm.
and she'll say something, and it's hard for me because I just need to go like, "You're right, baby, that sucks," but I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you haven't gone through this yet. Like
Mm.
you like you just this is a hardship, baby, that you have to go through because we're about to be somewhere insanely amazing." And I can you believe that we're like this and this and this and this, and this shitty thing has to happen, and I honestly just need to go, yeah, you're right, that sucks, because also that's the part being the good partner and going, I hear you and I'm not trying to fix it.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yes,
tough.
that's
It's tough
key.
though.
That's key.
It's holding space. And but you're so right. That is a thing where, especially in relationships where the person is, younger than you, and like you have to let them experience that because that's their journey and that's their right. She's 9. Cassidy just turned 9.
You got the skin of an 8-year-old, I'll tell you
And
that.
Thank you.
and she's getting braces really soon. And I've got to let her have them.
This is what's so amazing about Cassidy is that I was at your house whenever we could be, whenever that was, when non-quarantine was happening, and Cassidy did something, and you said, yeah, because Cassidy's really funny, and I was like, yeah, you sure ain't with her because of her looks, and we all laughed so hard, and I was like, fucking Cassidy, who's so attractive that someone can make a joke about, like, hey, she's definitely not super hot, and everyone laughs because it's like, yeah, she's super hot. I was like, I've never been able to make that joke in my life. Like, what a beautiful thing to be a funny, like, such a wonderful human alongside of, like, just being, you're beautiful inside and out.
Yep.
And having the ability to joke about it, you know. No one's ever been like, Jeffrey J, because he's so handsome, and everyone was like, yeah, he is.
I think Jeffrey Day. I think you're so handsome. I do think you're so handsome.
Whoa,
That's
whoa.
exact. You see, do you know when I've heard you say that? To Jack. That's exactly how you say that to Jack. And you're like,
No,
Jack,
I don't.
Jack, you are so handsome. It's when you go like, you're not a sex icon, Jack. You're a handsome little boy, and you're gonna grow up to be fantastic and wonderful. But you're no Matthew McConaughey right now. You ain't your dad.
Oh my goodness, you're so funny, Jeffrey J. No, I really like totally like try to phase myself out during that conversation. And then I scooted back up because I think that I want to really work on receiving compliments. So thank you. I received that.
Yeah.
That's something that I think a lot of people they deflect, right? And they don't want to receive those compliments. We are our own
Mm-hmm.
worst critics,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to
True.
be that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be self-deprecating. I don't want to,
Yeah.
be insulting or cause harm or injury. I really receive and I thank you. And
Yeah.
I love me. I love that I can be silly, and I love that I can be serious.
Yeah.
And I too have a question. I talked to Beau the other day.
And
After
you.
oh, thank you. And after our podcast, I said, maybe I shouldn't be so silly. Maybe I shouldn't
Oh yeah.
shouldn't be like that because of what I offer and my work, and then I thought, what the f am I saying? That's absolutely BS. You
Mm-hmm.
know why you want to work with me? Because I am totally fully me, and I accept all parts of myself, and I love to be silly, and I love to go deep, and I love to cry and to laugh and all all of the gifts of our humanity and all of the gifts of our divinity. And yeah.
Yes, and that's very true. And it's the last thing I'll say about my mother, because since she plays the game, how many times do I bring up my mother? She takes a shot. She's like, I'm going to create a drinking game, which we
So,
brought up another episode. She's drunk by now.
oh my God.
She said, what I love about Cassidy is that she can be so silly about the things she really cares about. And that's exactly how she put it. She's like, I'm so tired of the people who take themselves too seriously with these things that I love. She's like, but they're boring and I don't want to hear about it. And so, and that's what makes you so wonderful. And this show's so wonderful too, is that we are fully invested in all of these ideas. Yet we can talk about putting an ice cube up your butthole.
So I have an idea, you guys. So as we come to wrap this episode, this is a good idea.
I believe in creating your own reality, but when a phrase starts with that.
Guys, this is a good idea. I know because it's mine.
So we usually end on our moment of Zen, right? And gratitude, and do like a little mini meditation and grounding. What if we take this cleansing rinse like breath? Okay, so thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening with us. Thank you for being here today. This is a moment for you. Okay, so shift your attention inward, whether that is closing your eyes or keeping your eyes open. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Perhaps you're simply listening. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. And then exhale, let it out. Rinsing out any emotion, any weight that does not serve your highest good and purpose, and just simply set it aside just for a moment, just for 5 seconds. Set it aside. So inhale and exhale. And then open your eyes. Maybe you just deepen your awareness to your body, yourself, your presence, this moment, here and now. And invite you to say one thing that you're grateful for about yourself. One thing that you're grateful for about yourself. Maybe that's something that you love about yourself. Maybe that's something that you like about yourself. Maybe that's something that you accomplished. What you got for us, Jeffrey J?
Oh, we saying it out loud?
Yeah.
Oh. I've been so driven this week, and I'm proud of myself because I know that sometimes that goes away, with everything going on. But so I'm proud of myself for being driven this week, and I'm not going to put the pressure for any longer.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jeffrey J.
Yes.
What about you, Cassidy?
I love my quirkiness. My version of distance. I'm grateful for that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and all the people in my life that empower me, just like you, Jeffrey J., just like you, Beau, just like all of our listeners out there, allowing me to be me with no judgment. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And yeah, it's my intention to mirror that back to you.
Beautiful.
Matthew?
For me? And now I would say that as Beau Bowker, the one thing that I'm grateful for about me as Beau Bowker is my heart. Every day I feel it expanding. My heart space. What's in there? I don't know. Love, blood, joy, life, capillaries, white cells, blood cells, red cells, one fish, two fish, Red fish, blue fish. Um,
Oh God, I love you so
yeah,
much.
I close my no.
Oh my God.
No, but that is my real answer.
Oh,
My heart is it's expanding. I mean, I don't need surgery or anything, but like I have an enlarged heart.
That's a thing. Cardiomegaly. Okay.
Whatever. No, I feel when I meditate and I concentrate on my heart and my heart space, I literally feel it expanding. I feel it physically and figuratively, um, just getting bigger and more open. Um, as somebody who's always been in touch with my feminine side and somebody who uh, wants to project the best image of myself possible, I've always thought I am very expressive and I have an open heart. And I've realized through a lot of work on myself that it was closed off more than I ever thought it was. Um, and that was hard for me to reconcile with, because it's like one of those things where it's like, wait, no, that's not who I thought I was. I didn't think I was a closed off person, but I got to be honest with myself, and um, I think there is some of that. And I think that's part of why I'm not so great at keeping in touch with people. And because I think what I don't know what it is, but I'm protecting my heart. I've done that over time. It's protect my heart, and I don't want to do that. And it's changing, and I'm just it's expanding and it's opening, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm proud of the work that I've done to make that happen.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Well,
Um,
guys, that's us. You can find us at Hippie Dippy on Instagram. You can find us on our individual accounts, which you'll see at the bottom here, or it's yeah, you can see in the description. We'll have all of our handles. So come search us out. Send us an email. Ask us a question if you don't want to Google it.
yeah, good idea, man. I love that.
That's awesome, Jeffrey J.
Yeah, thank you guys. We love you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.